This is In the Loop. I'm Christian Bryant. We're bringing you another entry in our series, Love Life, where we dig into how Americans are dealing with the changing dating landscape. In this edition, we're talking about dating apps. Today, dating apps are common. According to Pew Research Center's latest data on online dating, 30% of US adults say they've used a dating app. This number is up from just 11% in 2013. We sat down with therapist Matt Lundquist, who works with couples. He says in recent years, dating apps come up in his sessions often.
How many couples we've seen who met through a dating app of some kind, that has trended up, pretty steadily and continually. It accelerated yet again in the pandemic. So it's become a big part of people's relationships and people's dating lives. It's become kind of the presumptive way that people are, connecting and meeting people to date.
But before dating apps, there were dating sites. Let's take a trip down memory lane to explain how online dating has changed over the years. More people were gaining access to computers in the 80s and 90s. The 90s rom-com You've Got Mail was one of our first pop culture introductions to online dating.
Meat? Oh my God.
This time period is also when the world's first online dating website was launched, Match.com. In the early 2000s, other dating sites like eHarmony came onto the scene. These dating sites required a detailed profile where you had to give a good bit of information about your life and your interests. Dating apps came almost a decade later, and they originated in the gay community with platforms like Grindr that launched in 2009. The goal was to connect single men within the same geographic area. In 2012, Tinder was launched, which has been called a pivotal moment for online dating. But these apps are seen as more casual, without detailed profiles like the dating sites that came before them. They became associated with hooking up, basically casual encounters rather than steady dating. Although there's limited research on dating apps since they're still fairly new, experts say this is because users can quickly glance at someone's physical appearance and see if there's an attraction before moving on to the next person. Hinge was released in 2013, and Bumble came out in 2014 when a former Tinder executive decided to branch out and create a new type of platform where women can make the first move. Dating apps have expanded the pool of people you can meet, and users say they're likely to meet people on the apps they wouldn't have met otherwise. But Matt says because of all this choice, dating apps can also be tiring, and attitudes towards dating have shifted.
There are a lot of people, and a lot of people are talking about this, who are kind of cynically swiping and almost the expectation when they open their phone and look at 10 or 20 or 50 people, which is not an uncommon number to swipe through in a sitting, when they agree to go on a date with somebody, the energy around that is really cynical. Like, oh, I have a date with somebody from Bumble, like, Bumble, it's probably going to be awful. That there's just a lot of cynicism about it.
A survey from April of 500 18 to 54-year-olds found that about 80% experienced emotional burnout or fatigue with online dating. With that being said, some people have great luck with these apps, and their relationships end in marriage. Pew says 12% of people have married or been in a committed relationship with someone they met on a dating app. According to The Knot, last year, Tinder was responsible for pairing over a quarter of newlyweds who met online, which may be surprising as many people know this is an app for more casual relationships. When online dating was newer, it was taboo. There was a stigma around meeting someone online. Let's take the How I Met Your Mother episode where Ted met a woman online but told everyone they met at a cooking class.
Everyone already had a partner, but then I looked up and across a crowded room, I saw Ted. It was magical.
It was so magical.
Except it wasn't.
But as dating apps have become the norm, experts say people are more honest about sharing where they met.
I've not had a conversation with anybody about stigma, we don't want to tell our friends that we met this way, or I don't want to date this way because I don't want to have to tell people I met this way. I've not had that conversation with people in, probably 3 or 4 years at least. It's become really, really the norm, at least again among the kinds of folks I see in therapy here in the city.